they can do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, I might let her quit her job. Well, it's not about letting, right? I'm muted. Can you hear me?
It's fixed. They can hear you now.
I'm here. Hey, it's me. It's Brian. I'm here to speak to you on behalf of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am here to talk to you all and take your phone calls and hear what you're trying to say. And, you can also call into the show, 614-655-3887 on WCRS FM Columbus, LP Columbus in, the outer belt. I don't know the numbers, so that might get them in trouble, but what do you want me to fucking do? I'm just an idiot. So yeah, I'm here to chat with the listeners tonight, maybe take a few phone calls with people, try to do a little bit by myself, right? Like maybe I try to talk a minute by myself just to see if I have the ability to talk for a minute by myself. Why does I always look like my head's floating in the air? Like the picture is just not doing good for me. I don't like to just be a head. I like to be a head with shoulders and a shirt. I wear these fresh graphic tees for all of you, and you can never see them. So maybe one day I'll fix that. Today it's Carhartt, work in progress, 24-hour casino, Detroit, Michigan. This is their silly hype beast brand for Carhartt, and I purchased it. So, yeah, every radio, I know, Fixer Punk. Grayson says almost every radio studio I've been has the call letters and station ID. I'm in my office, though, at my house, because when we used to go to the studio, people would fuck with everything, and then it wouldn't work, and then it would become me being as fiery and angry as I could ever possibly be, So it's me. I'm here to take some phone calls, and I'm ready to talk to everybody. It's not the laptop, smarty pants. So let's take some fucking phone calls, right? My phone's ringing over here too. Very important friend. I'm gonna have to reply to him through text message. So let's take a call. Let's see. Hey, thanks for calling the show. It's me, Brian. How's it going tonight?
Hi,
hello?
It's me, Hank.
Hank, what's
Can you
up,
hear me?
man?
Fuck. Hello.
I can hear you.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Do we get you got?
For fuck's
me on
sake,
your
Jason.
I can hear you, buddy.
I can hear
Loud-
you. So we're talking. So what's up?
We're talking. We're like two CB guys. We're two tugboats in the misty fog of the morning, making sure we don't bump into each other, but just making, checking in on the salmon accounts. I don't know what that's. Those are sailor talk. You ever thought about being a sailor, Brian? I
No.
I haven't read all of Moby
Well,
Dick.
I wanted a boat.
I'm just rambling. I
wanted a boat. I do want a boat. One day I want to be rich enough where I can order a boat off the. I don't know why I said order a boat, like I'm going to do it on Amazon. Yeah. I do want a boat. And
what kind of boat guy are you?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different flavors of boat guy. Are you like a big are you going out for cruising and speed and going or partying? And you tell me.
Well, you all should know me well enough to know that one, yacht. I mean, that's just because I want to be really rich, but that doesn't have anything to do with the kind of boat I want. I would like I guess I would really like a speedboat because I want to do a dangerous thing. It's either leisure or danger for me, right? Like there's only like two things that I like, and it is being dangerous and being leisurely. And That's what I'm doing. So I would say speedboat more than likely, even though, you know, those aren't like, those seem less fun for the other people, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like the other people on the boat.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like race cars aren't
It's only fun for the
comfortable on
person
the
driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only good for driving. That for the driver. The driver's having a fucking time of their fucking life. But as far as like being on a speedboat, I've been on a couple. You know, I told the famous bologna sandwich story on the on a boat one time. And I liked that. You know, I liked being on the boat, but I couldn't talk to anybody, and they had me in a life preserver, which is like out of time. You know, yeah, anybody that listens to the show knows that I'm not fucking gonna wear a life preserver happily. Like that's not gonna be good for me. You know?
Right. Like a dog with a cone.
Yeah.
That seems you in a life preserver. Just constraining. Yeah.
Well, it's like when I worked at the cable company or anything else. It was like hard hats. I hated wearing a hard hat. It was the fucking worst. It made me feel like an idiot when I put it on. And, you know, obviously, I think that safety equipment is really important. But like, I can't tell myself that things that are safe are cool. Like it doesn't feel cool, you know?
I do. Yeah. I think clearly safety is cool though. Like you know, that sounds like a kind of a relic of a stigma of our culture that you don't want a bright yellow with, you know, vest and a hard hat to be perceived because you feel like a square, you know, you feel like some sort of jerk wearing a seatbelt, you know, and that's like no one thinks that's cool, but maybe you could, you know, take the lead role here and make it cool. Start wearing a hard hat during the podcast, like how Crowder wears a gun holster. You could normalize safety. He normalizes danger.
Wait,
you could normalize
Crowder
safety.
wears a gun when he podcasts?
Oh, yes. It's part of his getup. Like how you might put on shoes or something, he puts on a holster. I'm not a big anti.
That's like
I hate that fucking guy. I didn't bring it up because. Go ahead.
That's fucking stupid. It makes you. I don't understand. These guys, man, they don't. That's like my father-in-law. Every time I fucking go over to his house, he's like, "Hey, every time I go over to his house, he's like, "Hey, you want to come look at my gun?" And I'm like, "No, I don't care about your fucking gun. I do not at all." But every time I go over there, he wants me to look at his gun, and it doesn't give me any joy to see one. And like, nobody's gonna blast into Steven Crowder's studio and shoot him while he's podcasting.
That's right. Especially the kind where you need it attached to your rib cage and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Although someone in the chat said it's just a hole, so maybe he's not actually got the gun in there. But nevertheless, it's insanely insecure and clearly some sort of signaling thing that is scary if you think about it too much. But yeah, it's just really pathetic.
Hard hats are like, I understand, like I said, in my mind, I can talk about like worker safety is like super important. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not like an important thing. It's just, why does everything have to look so fucking goofy? You know, I look, I've almost bought like high vis hype beast stuff on the Carhartt whip site. Like I've come real close to buying a few I've come real close to buying like the streetwear Carhartt high vis t-shirts and stuff like that. Like I've come very close to that, but I can't. And I don't think high vis is bad. Like I don't mind that stuff, that like sort of green color and that yellow color. Like none of that bothers me necessarily. But like the actual hard hat. You know what else I always had trouble with, Hank? Tool belt. Always You just couldn't get me to wear that damn tool belt.
Oh,
I would get in
Right,
trouble
yeah.
all the time for carrying it over my shoulder like a backpack. Like I would like sling it over my shoulder and walk around with it. And my every job I ever had, they're like, "You look like a fucking idiot." Like they get like really mad, like and tell you that it doesn't look professional. But it's like, yeah, but I mean, wearing a tool belt the right way looks really square. It looks like you're at work, you know?
right. Yeah. Like you got a boss.
That's where you do your least
Like some.
that's where
some
you
punk
do your
gets to tell
least cool
Yeah.
yeah, that's where you do your least cool stuff is at work.
you at work. But we should have tool belts for office workers with like post-it notes, fresh Bics, those little tabs you stick into into books. I don't know what do they do with what other a stapler? You have all sorts of stuff on a tool belt. I think you and I just stumbled onto our next great product.
Well, I don't
Shark
think anybody
Tank
wear
this
them.
shit. Work tool belts.
I just don't think that
No.
like I don't think people like having all their okay. There's a certain type of person that I worked with at the cable company and when I was a roofer that like and even in the call center, but like not as many of them in the call center, but there's this like certain type of person that just wants to have everything on them. You know what I mean? They call it EDC now, everyday carry. But back in the day, it was just like the weird guy that had all of his keys and that weird phone holster thing that people get that sticks out of their pants and the chain wallet and a Leatherman and all that. So that was like a type of guy. And in my world, and I'm talking even in the blue collar time where I was working in these blue collar jobs, everybody made fun of those guys. Even the other guys at the cable company made fun of them. So that kind of fucked me up a little bit, probably.
Yeah. I've had, I've told you about my aquarium job I used to have, and I just recently was doing woodworking, and then maybe I'll update you guys on my wrists since I'm in a workers' comp situation. But so I've had jobs where you need tools, kind of like cable guy, like the aquarium thing. Especially, I did that for 10 years, and I always had cargo shorts though. That's like I'm a big cargo shorts guy because I actually had a lot of cargo. I needed pockets to put stuff in. You always end up with little parts, little pieces here and there. Some tools, in and out of the truck to fix things. So yeah, I get it. And when I was doing woodworking though, I never stepped up to the apron. Some woodworkers are full-time apron wearers. There's some pretty good reasons why you should. Protection for like kickback or things that might come shooting at you, I guess, in a little way. But aprons also have pockets too that you can, put some of the go-tos on. So I can see why it's a useful thing. But like, it's also I get why we shame people. That's like Batman it'd be funny if you could be like, hey Batman, this is not cool, and then he starts getting self-conscious and doesn't bring his utility belt with him or something. So
I'm an apron guy. I'm a fucking huge
great comment,
apron
Hank.
guy. I wear an apron when I bake bread. I wear an apron now when I bake and stuff like that and make pizza dough and shit. You can't wear an apron as a cable guy. It's not like a thing, but like I always felt like I always did feel like cargo pants to me. Putting your tools in your cargo pants is like just shoving your gun in your pocket. Like if you had a gun, if you just shoved it in your pocket, like it always felt really off-putting to me when I would put like a few screwdrivers and a hammer in my cargo pants.
Yeah, it really is kind of. It's not, but that's that's the whole point. Got to clear your hands up so you can swing them around or something. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yes,
I always like the hard hat. Hard hats have that crank on the back, that little wheel you turn and it clicks and then it tightens around your head. That's always been my favorite part. And I can't say I've worn a lot of hard hats, but if any, no kink shaming, I would definitely put another one on for somebody if they wanted me to.
God, I don't know if I've ever told this story. But back in back, I know I've told it. I had to have told it, but back when I was roofing, I was like habitually not wearing my hard hat to work because I just didn't want to fucking wear it. You know what I mean? I just thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. So I was like, I'm not gonna wear it. And then one day they told me, like, if you don't wear your hard hat tomorrow, you're gonna have to wear a pink hard hat. And of course, I ain't wearing no fucking pink hard hat. You know what? Or I'm not wearing a hard hat. I didn't show, so I had to wear a pink hard hat every day for like a week. And they would always be making fun of me. And I'd be like, well, this one like actually looks better than like the white ones that you're wearing. You know, like I thought I had the stylish hat. And who in the chat just sent, I gotta credit the person in the chat. Double Neg in the chat posted Tasco Safety.com hydro dipped hard hats. Now that's fucking something I would wear. That is fucking fresh, man. I should get that. I like those. They're sweet. You guys got to look them up. But yeah, I think like,
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty sick, aren't they? Those are some sick fucking hard hats. That's maybe something I'd wear. But yeah, I liked wearing the pink hat.
Yep.
Like they were trying to make me feel stupid. Well, you know, this is 2002, so they were trying to make me feel gay. Was like what they were saying. But
right.
I didn't necessarily really care about that, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's absurd. The pink blue color thing is really still part of our culture, I think, but it's, you know, yeah, it's so weird. It's a strange thing how that like toxic masculinity thing has, it's all just like self-enforced by that type of mentality. You know, they think you're the weird one because you don't care that pink is a color, or that they think you're gay. Like, who gives a shit about all of that? It's so stupid. But in their world, they use it as a way to like enforce this goofy like social container that they don't want people to step out of. Even on like a casual and like work site sort of thing, people that they're not necessarily like trying to like antagonize. So that's the part of like masculinity I've always fucking hated in this whole society.
And if it's 1998, 99, I would say this was a time where it might have been early 2000s when this happened, but there was this like sort of period at the end of the 90s, the early 2000s, where pink shirts like started to be like in style for dudes, salmon color, any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that became like a style, and it started this like sort of this war of like, there were people like, I'll be honest, I didn't wear pink and I thought people who wore pink looked stupid. And now that makes me, if it was now, I know what that makes me. But at the time, it was probably a lot of like homophobia and stuff like that. But also like, you just never saw dudes wearing pink when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And but it started to be in style, and it's the same thing as emo, when everybody started calling everything emo for a period of time. And it was just like, okay, you know, it's like a heavy kind of music. It's not some lifestyle thing. But dudes have always been, that toxic masculinity thing is something that dudes have been afraid of for as long as I can fucking remember. And it was like my nightmare was to have people think I wasn't macho. So I was probably as bad as anybody at that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I remember like the big joke that there was back when I was a kid was like, if you came to school in a shirt, which is weird because when I was in 9th grade, silk shirts were like in style. So like dudes were wearing fucking purple shirts, pink silk shirts. They looked like blouses. Dudes were basically wearing blouses back then. But for some reason it swung back all the way the other way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh God, I had the coolest fucking purple one, man. Oh my God. Everybody's looking at me. It's like one day I would wear my purple one. One day I would wear my blue and salmon colored one. And then the next day I'd wear my Looney's Blunts shirt, like the cigars. And it was the Looney Tunes, like running around smoking exploding cigars, and then the next day, maybe a band T-shirt or something. But man, I was styling and profiling back in 9th grade during silk shirt times. So yeah, there was that period of time where it's like all the people who were the most sort of toxic masculine guys were like wearing silk shirts everywhere.
It's really weird. Yeah, I'm like you though, man. I grew up like we're the same age. I grew up as a kid in the '80s, high school in the '90s, so I absolutely had a lot of that internalized homophobia stuff. I wasn't of the kind that was out running around screaming at people or anything like that at all. And like my origins is my dad is a conservative dude, and like I grew up in a conservative like household, although not overtly political. It wasn't like it was always something that was talked about, but I just identified with my dad, and I knew that I hated the Democrats and stuff like that. But as just a regular ass, kind of, run of the mill, ordinary, dumb American upbringing I definitely had a lot of that stuff that is, I would have been worried about being perceived as gay or being not macho enough. I mean, that kind of thing gets in your mind, whether you want it there or not, and then you have to learn that you shouldn't want it there and work to exorcise it or excise it or whatever the right word is. Like the earrings on the left, do you remember that? The earring, if your earring is on your left ear, you're gay, or if it's on your right ear. I was never an earring guy. It didn't become something. But I remember looking around and being like, oh, there's a left earring. That's a gay or something. You know what I mean? Like you're like, what are you supposed to? Just all weird stuff like that. Just culture. It's just funny how fashion becomes part of the way we enforce things on each other.
Why do I remember that my thing with the earring thing, right, was like, I didn't think anybody, there wasn't like a right ear to do it in. That like, I remember it being really confusing which ear you do the earring in, and it depended on the person you were talking to. I find I never had an earring growing up. Like they let my older brother have it, but they wouldn't let me have it. I do think one earring is an incredibly stupid looking style. I will say that. But I think dudes started getting both ears pierced because they didn't know which ear it was. So they were like, fuck it. If I do them both, I can't get it wrong. Because that's how I always thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the culture just sort of evolved past that. I mean, obviously. Go ahead.
But even at that time, I don't think anybody knew. I don't think there was a custom that really existed for which ear is a signal. Like it's just something people said, because I remember it would be like, no, the left ear. No, it's the right ear. No, hey, no, it's the left. Like it was always like an argument over which ear. So at least where I was from. And like people didn't really know, but I could be wrong actually too. But yeah, the earring thing was really fucking wild. There were a few other things too where like I remember the boomers. God, it would have had to have been, yeah, the boomers, the generation before me, maybe even some like Generation X people,
yeah,
would say that if you sag your pants, that's the same thing too. You know what I mean? So sagging your pants was also was considered gay. So that is is the other thing. Oh, holy moly. Hank, I got to get to another call. I didn't realize we were talking for 25 minutes.
Oh my God. All right. That's been fine. Thanks for taking me first, and sending love to you and Brett and everybody there at the crew and everybody in the audience. And have a good night, my friend.
We love you, Hank. All right. You can blame Brooklyn Skulls in the chat for that. He wanted me to kick Hank off the air. So maybe you guys can fight about it later. I don't really know, but I'm going to take this next call. Thank you for calling Street Fight. Who am I talking to tonight? Hello? Are you there? Oh, he hung up. Oh, a hang up. Ah, what the hell, man? All right. I'm taking the next call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who am I talking to tonight? Oh, I hear you now.
Danny in Brooklyn. Yes.
Danny
I'm
in
here.
Brooklyn. How are you doing? How you doing, Danny? Wait, are
I'm
you
pretty good,
Brooklyn
man.
Skulls in the chat? Did you make me hang up on Hank? How dare you? Hank is
Oh.
mad at you now. So what's going on, Danny?
Hey, man. I'm sitting outside on a bench, just in sort of like in front of one of the older projects in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It is a hot, humid, muggy 80 degrees here. And yeah, just enjoying the Sunday.
Really? Yeah, it's hot here too. It was like 90. Today it might be 80 now, but it was
Yeah.
sweating nuts outside. I hated it.
Yeah, no, it's been I actually started a new job where where I'm working in like a fabrication space in like a smallish warehouse, maybe like 5,000 square feet, and like we have a lot of fans going all the time, but like I just get home every day and I will like kind of like rub my like one of my fingers up against like my forehead and I'll be like, oh, that's just a small layer of salt. I'm just sweating that much.
Yeah, I do the same thing. My shirts are always like have like a stratus of, it looks like mountains of salt across the front of my shirts when I get home from my walk. If it's really hot outside, it's fucking crazy. Oh, let me help somebody real quick before it goes. Mom Fungible said, "Hey Brian, I can't call in, but I'm wondering where to go for takeout pizza in Columbus. My wife and I are celebrating our 10-year anniversary in your neck of the woods next weekend, and I know there's good za there. Angie's, Anges Pizza, is the best like Columbus style stuff. Is what I can tell you. So it's try that one. Yeah, the delay's crazy this time. I will tell you that. I don't know what's going on with that, but you know what? We're just gonna have to make it, you know. So do you have air conditioning in your apartment, Danny?
We started getting, we don't have central air, which is where it comes out of the walls or the vents or what have you. But there was about 3-4 weeks ago that it was getting like, it was basically like 90 degrees every day. So I got one of those small air conditioning units that you can put in a window. And I found that, you know, because my apartment is sort of oddly shaped, it basically only cooled the kitchen, which is where it is. But it did help to just sort of have like some kind of flowing air happening. Plus I have 2 cats. So when I was like gone during the day, you know, like I wanted there to be opportunities for them to be a little cooler than me. Cause like I surrendered to the heat. Like I actually run cold anyway. So I kind of like it when it's hot. But yeah, I have, to answer your question, yeah, I do have an air conditioning unit, and there are definitely like 2 to 3 weeks, especially in August here, where you kind of basically have to have it on.
Yeah, you big city people, like it's fucking nuts how many of you guys don't have air conditioning and just like sort of live without it, because I don't know anybody that doesn't have central air conditioning in their house. Like, I'm sure, you know, there are people that don't. There are people that don't use their air conditioner, which that's actually mind-blowing to me. But like yeah, I like to wear like I have my air on all the time. I can't live without it. My electric bill during the which is crazy. My electric bill during the summer is just like really high. Like like an amount of money that people shouldn't be paying, but during the winter, my electric bill is like $45.
Yeah, yeah. It's I mean, it's kind of happening all over the country. Like I grew up in Seattle, and my parents just redid the heating system in their house that they've been living in since like 1991, and they decided like we're going to get and they're like 68, but so like they're a little bit more sensitive to the heat, but they just decided to get like an actual air conditioning. And for context, like that's pretty highly unusual in Seattle. Like people generally don't have those kinds of amenities in their houses. Like you don't really need central air, or you didn't need central air there in the past, and like less people have pools and what have you in the summer because it just didn't get that hot. But it's just turning into one of those places where it gets very, very, very hot during certain parts of the summer, and because they're like way less used to humidity and just heat in general, it's shocking a lot of people, especially in the Pacific Northwest.
That's John, my co-host on the POD cast, and actually my co-host last Wednesday is John Cullen. We do the POD cast twice a month. We do it, and sometimes, man, he looks like he's gonna fucking die in that studio room. I think they have an air conditioning in their main living area, but not in the studio. And I'm always just like, I got a vent blowing on me right now. So I generally am way more comfortable. And yeah, the Pacific Northwest, like, I mean, that seems so bad too, that like nobody's I hate using words like this, but nobody's like interrogating why all of a sudden you need air conditioning to live in Seattle. You know what I mean? Like I understand our listeners are, and like environmentalist people are, but like, you know, there are so many people in Seattle now that are buying air conditioners that are like, oh yeah, I guess you just need an air conditioner now.
Yeah,
Which is
it's absolutely like it happened to my friend Carrie too, who lives over in Bellevue, which is right across from Lake Washington. She got central air, and it just and I mean that's the thing too, is it's a real sudden shock up there, because this June there were a couple 50-degree days where it was just like basically March weather all the way into like late June in the Pacific Northwest. But then like once the switch flipped, it was just hot and unbearably hot for a lot of people.
Yeah, I wish I spend a lot of time like trying to figure it out. Like, is there a way? Like, I'm sure there's people working on a way to be comfortable and not just blasting air into the house. Like, that's the thing. We're just all gonna have to move underground now and live in basements, you know? Because I'm not used to, like, I've been to Seattle a couple times, and I always feel a little weird about, like, I'll go looking to turn the air conditioner on and no air comes out, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I discovered finally the last time I was there that it was because none of the places have air conditioning because they don't need it. But I need it. Like, I need it to be fucking cold.
Yeah.
You know, you grow up in Ohio, like, not by the lake, you know. I don't live by a lake or anything like that, dude. I live in like goddamn landlocked Columbus, Ohio. There's literally nothing, like, there's nothing for breeze. There isn't like a place for a breeze to happen, and it's humid as shit. There's plant life everywhere, and it's just like super fucking humid. And like, I just feel like is there some kind of an idea? Like Doug Green in the chat says they've been talking about making an air-conditioned city in Phoenix. That's fucking wild. You can't do that. That's probably fucking one day of it running and it's melting an ice cap.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I not to be too much of a absolutist on it, but like my whole mantra is that if you're particularly wed or a fan of Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas, it's like I mean, enjoy it now because that shit is beyond fucked. I mean, that's like you're talking. I mean, like it's way less humid for sure. It's a much more drier heat, but it's just like it's like what are you talking about? It's 110 degrees. Like that's ridiculous.
All right.
Like and you're like it's like a slide against God where you're just sort of like, oh yeah, I can live again. I can live in. I'm trying to live in the middle of the desert. You know, and like you know, especially those two cities are just like the king of sprawl. I think it was Phoenix and Tucson that are like eventually just like kind of touching, even though like they're not close to each other. And like there was even like it's getting to the point where like in certain contexts, like the not alloy, but the compound that makes up like rubber tires that goes on like airplanes, like they can't land over a certain degree. So if it's like more than like 115 degrees, you can't land a plane in Phoenix because the tires just start to melt.
That's
and
fucking
I've had
crazy.
friends from the Arizona area. Yeah, my friend who used to live in Portland, Oregon. He was like such a fast walker all the time. And it was funny because it'd be like, why are you walking so quick everywhere? And he lived in Phoenix, and his whole thing was like, yeah, well, just in the summer, the asphalt got so hot, and I would just wear Converse, so like you could just feel the heat through your shoes. So you just have to move fast. I was like, that's fucked.
Right.
That's terrible.
And I want to live somewhere that's warm in the wintertime. Trust me. That is my my dream is to live somewhere that's warm in the wintertime. But there's just not a lot of places where it's warm in the winter and the summer is habitable.
Yeah, I mean, the only places for that are like maybe San Diego, but like I just wouldn't live in California, period, at this point because their water is so unstable. Texas, you can't really depend on because, like, remember, even it got really cold there in the winter. The last couple winters,
for them,
Louisiana,
too. That sucks for them.
Is like
I feel for them.
It's like wild. Oh yeah, their whole infrastructure thing is so wild. And then Florida,
Louisiana, I can't be in.
You could live in Florida. Yeah,
Maybe.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
New Orleans is
true.
kind of like the closest thing to a situation, but like, you know, it is a city that is beneath sea level, so you know, not a good long-term situation.
Yeah. So, well, Danny, thank you for calling. I got to get some more calls in here so that people don't yell at me again. It was good to hear from you, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good to talk to you. I'll talk to you later.
Peace out. Yeah, man. I just think like I don't know. People don't ask quite like it's funny. We've been sort of taught that you can't, you know, you can't do nothing about the weather. That's something you can't fix. And it is like that has led us to now it feels like honestly we can't do anything about it. Too late. But yeah, Tampa's tough. Tampa sounds tough. Winter, or you know. So let's take another call here. Hey, thank you for calling. Who am I talking to tonight?
What's up?
Bear.
Bear.
I know you.
You got Bear on the radio.
How's it going?
Fuck yeah.
How's it going, Bear?
Oh, it's going great. I just packing this vaporizer, but it isn't fucking packing. It's really annoying, actually. It's not going great. I lied.
What kind of vape you using? What kind of vape you using?
It's a PAX 3. PAX 3
I have
dryer
one of those.
vaporizer.
I had one of the. I still have it.
It's
It's
so-
in my bedroom.
It is so much better than anything else. Because I suck at rolling and I hate pipes, and I hate carts too. So that's kind of my only option.
It feels like you're still smoking it. Like I maybe you don't care. I got on it because I didn't want to smoke anymore. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll start vaping then. And I got the PAX 3, and you just got to heat it up so much that you're basically still smoking. you're just smoking it still.
Yeah,
That's how I see it.
it is one of the it's one of the worst vaporizers. It's one of the best brands as far as like quality of product goes. But as far as like if you're trying to vape, like it's not a very good vape. I mean,
It's a bowl that has a lighter built into it.
Yeah, it really is that. It's more convenience than anything. It's not any better, but it's convenient.
Yeah, that's how we got kicked out of a hotel room in New York because I don't know. You think you can vape indoors? Like you think it's fine. Nobody will smell it, but it's basically like smoking. So we ended up getting kicked out of a hotel one time because of the vaping inside, which I always thought was a bad idea anyway. But what else are you gonna do? You're gonna go outside to do it?
I
That's
mean-
crazy. Vapor.
Literally the day I got the vaporizer, I thought that like it wouldn't smell as bad, right? I was like, oh, it won't smell like I'm smoking because I'm not smoking. So I went out back where just in the normal smoking area where all the managers go to smoke. So while I'm working at Chili's too, I just sit out there and I'm fucking puffing away on that thing. After about 3 minutes, Clint was like, are you still like able to function? I'm like, what you talking about? And he's fucking yelling at me for sitting there smoking weed that whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I think the good thing about the packs, I believe, is the ABV you can make edibles out of, and they're really good. They
Yeah.
would get you fucked up. You can also just throw a bunch of ABV in your mouth and get high. That's already vaped. But you can just
Oh fuck!
you
I
can
hate
just
that. No,
eat-
that's
I'll tell you what
so
I used
fucking
to
gross
make.
though.
Very early on. You could probably find my recipe for it somewhere on the internet too. Firecrackers were these things I used to make where I go to the grocery store and I buy some Nutella and Ritz or Townhouse crackers. I went Townhouse. I buy the Townhouse crackers and some Nutella, and I would sprinkle a little bit of weed and some keef on each. I would spread on one and run up, like I would lay out like 6 of them.
Right.
I would spread the stuff on each one, and then I'd sprinkle a little bit of weed and a little bit of keef on each one, and then put the stuff on the top, put the Nutella on top, and then smash them together like a sandwich. But you can't have any weed showing on the outside. It has to be inside. And man, those things were like fucking, it was crazy. So because you couldn't really measure how much you were using, so you would just get your fucking shit rocked on them. And I used to eat like 3 at a time, where it was like, my guess is like those things were up into like 50 milligram for the lower ones. You know what I mean? It would be my guess is 50 milligrams. But I would just get so lit up. I saw the first Avatar movie. I ate like 5 of those when I saw the first Avatar movie, and it was fucking mind blowing when I saw it. I mean, the movie sucked, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't. Yeah, I mean it's not gonna make the movie better, but I mean,
No, weed doesn't make movies better. People
I
always think
fucking,
that, but it doesn't.
no, it just makes you have a better time if it's a good movie. It doesn't make the movie better.
No, yeah, you can't enjoy. I mean,
Again,
I find that marijuana makes you more of a. I feel like marijuana makes you more of a complainer. if that makes sense. Like, I think I complain more.
It makes you
When
more
I'm
vocal
high,
about what
so
you
if-
don't like.
So if you're watching a movie you don't like, it makes you feel like shit because you're like, this fucking sucks, man. And it feels like it's never going to end. That's the way I see it. Because like I complain so much more when I complain so much fucking more when I'm high than I do when I'm sober. And I complain a lot when I'm sober. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I feel that I won't try anything new. You know, I won't like try new activities or like watch new stuff while I'm high because I can learn to enjoy like most things if I'm sober. But if I'm exposed to something while I'm high, I'm probably gonna just like it. I'm gonna find one thing I don't like. I'm just gonna focus on that.
Yeah.
That's not
I've
just
seen a lot
marijuana.
of,
That's really like on anything. I don't know why my brain works that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a movie I went and saw high and was miserable. I'll tell you this. I saw the movie The Avengers on the night it came out, right? The first one. So this big team up movie you're very excited to see because not every movie was a team up movie back then. So I went with this fucking guy
Right.
who I think he just wanted to go to the movie because like it was a big deal in the culture. I don't think he necessarily cared or had seen any of the other movies, right? Um, so I will not leave a movie early. I've never left a movie early in my life. I've never fucking walked out of a movie. I once there's two movies in my year one with Michael Cera. I had to step outside and take a break from because I hated it so much. And the other one
Isn't it like year
was
one?
Public Enemy. I hated that movie, dude. That movie is one of the worst movies. I
Oh my
really
God.
hated that movie. You're a year one head bear?
I think I don't. I think it might just be because of the like the few religious jokes that are in it that I thought were fucking hilarious because of my weird religion thing. But like, yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was good.
Holy shit. I have a buddy named Nate. Used to host a podcast called Everything Elite. There's a wrestling podcast, and he fucking gives me grief all the time because I hated that movie so much. It was that and Public Enemy, the movie with Johnny Depp, where
Public
he
Enemy
plays John
sucked.
Dillinger. Yeah, those were the two movies I
no,
almost
I agree
walked
with you.
out of. But I stepped out, took a break, and walked back in. But that year one is the movie that challenged me the most of any other movie I've ever seen in my life. Just a abysmal movie to me. But like, you know what? I really like the movie Hot Rod, and a lot of people think that movie sucks, but it's fucking hilarious. I love it, you know?
I've never seen it, so I don't even have a comment on that.
I'm trying to
one. I
prove
don't
I'm not
fucking
a
know.
snob. Bear, I'm trying to prove I'm not a snob right now and say that there are bad movies that are poorly reviewed that I like. It's just year one is, I don't know, man. I just remember being in that theater and being fucking high as shit and being really excited to get in there because I was a big Michael Cera head at the time because he was in Arrested Development. So I was like really excited to see him in
Right.
a movie. Big David Cross guy too, and he's in that movie. And I get in there and I'm in misery, man. But I did make it all the way
I
through.
haven't seen it in a few years. Maybe I should rewatch it.
You know
Maybe
what?
it
Now
sucks.
that
Maybe
you
you're
said
right.
you liked it, now that you say you liked it, I'm thinking I need to rewatch it.
So I'm hearing that every Street Fighter needs to go watch year one to figure it out.
I'm gonna look it up. Let me look this up real quick. This doesn't mean shit. Everybody that listens to the Patreon knows this doesn't mean anything, but I'm on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I want to look at year one and just see what oh, Jack Black's in it too. Yeah. Okay. So check this out,
Yeah.
Bear. Okay, first I'm gonna let you're on the phone. I'm gonna let you guess what the critic score is for year one. You know how Rotten Tomatoes works, right?
Yeah. I mean,
What do you
like,
think
the
the
critic
critic
score is
score?
probably pretty low, probably like 60 something.
60 something? Okay. Let's give the chat
Yeah, I'm
a
gonna say the
second to
critic score is like
guess.
60 something.
Okay. And year one critic score, get it in your head. Take a second to guess this. And I'm going to tell Bear. And 1, 2, 3, 14%. It is 14%
Oh my god!
critics. But that's
But
critic score. And
now I gotta rewatch it.
but I don't think critic score means a lot in comedies, because if you go back and look at any comedy from 2009, 2010, it's going to have that score. It just isn't the type of thing. But now I'm going to let you take another guess here at the one that does matter, the audience score. Where do you think the score that matters, the audience score, with 250,000 plus ratings, what percentage do you think the audience score is for year one?
I'm trying to think, because I remember going and like sneaking into the theater with my friends and watching it, right? And we all laughed our asses off at it. I feel like most of the people that watched the film probably like were like around our age and shit too. So I'm gonna guess I'm gonna place it in like 70s to 80s. I mean, I think people liked it.
Okay, audience score for year one. I'm going to count it down. 3, 2, 1. 23% audience score. So it's
Oh my
almost
God,
undeniable
what?
that it's bad, Bear.
No,
Not a lot
I
of
remember
stuff
being
gets
funny
that
as
low of an
shit. I
audience.
remember it being like the greatest show on the planet.
Nothing
Oh
gets
my
that
God.
low of it.
Now I
That is
gotta
like
rewatch
a
it.
crazy low. Yeah, that's a crazy low audience score. I can't believe how low. Like, you don't see 23% audience score ever. You're looking at a 40 to 50 if it's bad. You know what I mean? So maybe I was right about year one. I'm gonna let
Oh my
myself show myself some grace. And 23% for the audience is the craziest score I think I've ever seen. Even those fucking like disaster movies
Oh my
had
God.
better. Like, here's disaster movie. I don't remember it now, but I'll read you the disaster movie. Okay, here's disaster movies audience score. Fucking Christ.
I was supposed to go see
Movie,
Disaster
okay.
Movie in theaters, and I didn't.
Oh, okay. Disaster movie's even worse. Okay, never mind. Disaster movie is a 1% critic score and a 21% audience score. So there you go. I mean, there's a lot of movies
Yeah,
here that
check it out.
people really enjoy that I'm looking at now, like where Semi-Pro has a 38% audience score, and I know that's one that people love. You know what I mean? But
Okay,
that's a tough fucking
Could you do me a
score.
favor and look up the amazing Burt Wonderstone?
I posted about that the other
We
day.
need-
People
we
are like,
need
that's
a-
a low-key good movie.
Dude, I fucking love
I'm
that
looking
movie.
it
I
up.
just rewatched it the other day. I made my boyfriend watch it with me.
How did your boyfriend like it?
Oh, he thought it was awful.
scores
He
here
fucking
too,
hates
Bear.
those kinds of like super cheesy comedies. Oh my God,
38%
really?
critic. Yep, 38% critic, 33% audience. Yeah. Audience 2010s where there's
Rotten Tomatoes score anymore.
like, yeah, it's wild. That's I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is just, by the way, it's a crummy site. It doesn't make any sense. The critic scores aren't anything. They mean nothing. The critic scores are bought and paid for now. You know, I read a whole article. I don't know where you're going to find this article. You'd have to probably Google it. But this article that, like, if you give too many Disney movies a low score, they won't let your critic review it early. Your critic has to pay to go, and like the money for movie critics is getting to see the movie early and tell people where to see it. Doesn't matter once the movie's out, you know. So like
Oh, yeah.
the Disney scores are like artificially high.
That's not even like a Disney or just like a movie thing. So there's just this thing with like professional reviews where like because you choose who gets to like see your shit first, right? With like media reviews. So like since you get to choose who sees it first, you just choose the people who you think will review you well. That's why I can't ever trust game reviews either. That's why I like wait for the day of release and watch all the day one reviewers and not the fucking pre-game reviewers.
I'm a letterboxed. I'm gonna become a letterboxed guy. Everybody that I'm friends with is a letterboxed guy. Everybody loves letterboxed, and I'm not on it, and it's because I'm too lazy to I'm too lazy
I have
to
no idea what that is.
put the movies in. Letterboxd is like a social media. Letterboxd is sort of a social media version of where you review movies and you follow people that review movies, and it's where people that like really like movies are. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Um,
that needs to be my thing then. I should do that instead of all the other social media shit I don't actually care about. I never post on.
Right. And yeah, that's an even better like social media thing, because I think it also allows you to see what people around you can you it also allows you to see what people around you or people that are into sort of the same stuff, like because my buddies will share like reviews in a chat that I'm in, and it's like, oh, okay, that seems good, but it's wild. It's yes, winners and losers. It's like Goodreads, but for movies. That's Hank. It's like, yeah. So it's basically like Goodreads, but you watch a movie. And I think you can even put TV shows in there too, which actually would be good for me because I use Rotten Tomatoes for everything. And I don't think it's good. I think Rotten Tomatoes fucking sucks. Like it's not a good indication, you know?
I go off of I completely I don't even read descriptions for movies before I watch them. When I have to pick out something to watch, I look at the fucking image and I look at like the title, and that's all I go based off of.
That's fucking
pure
wild.
vibes.
You're too young for that, Hank. Bear, how old are you, Bear?
I'm 19 today. It's actually my birthday. Everyone wish me a happy birthday and send me money.
Happy birthday, Bear. Let me tell them where to send you money.
Oh God. Oh no. Don't actually send me money. I didn't think this far ahead.
Okay. Well, let me just say this. You're 19, and I gotta tell you, when I was a kid, right, very young, sort of, I was very young. You would go to the video store, and like literally, you would just have to pick movies that you look at the box and then you just pick a movie, and you're living like that old style, Bear. You're living old people style.
I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but I grew up like, obviously I grew up poor. I'm listening to the show, but I grew up like rural poor, where like everything was set 20 to 30 years in the past until like just now. So like I was still using like VHS tapes like they were Blu-rays when I was a kid, you know? Like just now, I bought my first Blu-ray player like today, literally. I just ordered it today. Like, so that's sort of like we still had video stores until 2012 was when our last one shut down. Our last video store called it quits and shut down in Adairsville.
I rented some real fucking turds, Bear. I mean, I'm talking about some of the worst shit ever when I was a kid because of what was the cover. If the box looked like something, I mean, that was all they had to do back then. I don't think it's necessarily the same now, because I think all movies are kind of on a all movies that get any kind of a wide release have a certain amount of appeal, you know, just slicker than back in the day. You'd rent a horror movie with an insane. You would rent a horror movie and it would have this like really great cover, and it would be the worst movie in the fucking world, where it was like some guy's home video shit.
It'd be like Blackwater Vampire.
What?
If you guys have never
No.
seen Blackwater Vampire, look it up and watch it. Everyone go watch Blackwater Vampire.
What is Blackwater?
It
Is
the
it?
fucking worst. It's not even about vampires. It's about a werewolf.
Okay, yeah, that works. That works. I was gonna go see that movie Beast this weekend, but instead we went and saw Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Which, let me say this: I'll give you a quick little review. Maybe one of the better We Live in a Society movies I've seen. So, you know, it definitely has a
Interesting.
heavy-handed political. Yeah, it has a heavy-handed political message, but it's also like fun. You know what I mean? Like it's a fun. It's a fun horror movie where people get killed, and killing. But yeah, it was a good one. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is very good, and so is the Criminal. Emily the Criminal is another like really good one that I saw recently. So I would definitely see that. It is like a We Live in a Society movie, but it's very good. A lot of fun. So I would check that out. You'd have fun, but I don't think you do. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bear. I'm sorry. The delay tonight is crazy.
Oh, I was just gonna advise people just generally, Dollar Tree DVD date night, the best fucking thing on the planet. If you and your partners need a good date night, go to Dollar Tree, buy a bunch of fucking snacks and like a DVD, and just watch that shit because they're all awful and it's fantastic. That's where Blackwater Vampire came from. That's also where the hit movie Super Furball came from. That one's fantastic too.
That's fucking really a really smart idea. That's an incredible idea, Bear, because it's like you're just going out to do this thing and see this movie. So that is really fucking cool. I might have to try that. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Like $10 date idea.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I definitely have to try that now with my wife. My wife would hate me if I suggested we do it, but it might be fun to do because I have looked through those, and most of them are action movies anyway, which is, I love those movies. So I would love to watch some shitty action, like some shitty Mel Gibson action movie or Bruce Willis one now. Although the Bruce Willis ones I don't think I can do anymore because I just feel bad for the guy. You know what I mean? At first it was it's fun to make fun of him. Oh, he's dying. He's got like a really bad he's making all these movies. Somebody's like kind of making him it's some crazy story. It's very sad. So I can't watch the movies now. Not as fun. Well, Bear, I am going to take the rest of these calls. I love hearing from you. Thanks for calling. And Dollar Store Date Night is absolutely incredible. Great idea. I'm really impressed with that. Have a good night, Bear.
You too, man. Peace.
Bye. All right, here I'm gonna do something real quick that is very, very unlike me. If Jason's around, I need him to mark the time. I'm going to go piss before I die, and I'll be right back. I swear. I promise. Actually, Lucas from Connecticut can do his plug here. Hey, thanks for calling Street Fight. Who am I talking to tonight?
Hey, it's Lucas from Connecticut.
Lucas, you can do the plug real quick, okay? And I'm gonna pee.
All right.
You don't have to talk all the way through, but I'm handing you the mic. Be good. Don't get me in trouble.
All right, cool. Enjoy your piss. Wash your hands. Hey, Street Fight listeners. I'm going to speak slower than I usually do, so Brian has plenty of time to pee, and this message is clear and people can understand what I'm saying. Next weekend, from Thursday until Sunday, there's a camping trip planned at Fort Dummer State Park. That's FORTDUMMER State Park in Brattleboro, Vermont. We have the campsite called Fur FIR, as in a fir tree. That's got a lean-to, which is like a Adirondack shelter, is another name for it. Basically, a cabin with 3 walls. It doesn't have any bunks or anything, but bring like a ground pad thing. I'm bringing like a Tempur-Pedic mattress topper. I'm just going to throw that down. Some fleece blankets and some pillows. I just blew a fuse in my house and my PC switched off, which sucks because I was in the middle of a game of Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. It's a fun game. Check it out. But yeah, Fort Dummer State Park,
can I say this?
Brattleboro, Vermont, Thursday to Sunday. Oh, he's back.
I can't think of a better place to have something like this than Fort Dummer State Park. I think it's perfect. It's the perfect name, and it's the perfect place.
Yeah, it's well named for the big old group of dummies that are going to go camping there. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Oh, can I say this real quick? You got the plug out. Double Neg in the chat says, Brian, walking into Dollar Tree. Give me the most expensive DVD you have. Listen, if I did buy the most expensive DVD at Dollar Tree, what's it going to cost me? $10? Maybe I will do that. And my wife will be impressed. My wife will be like, oh, hello. This guy, he spent $10 on a movie. Oh my God, what's going on? Is there a raptor there?
No, that's my basement door. It's creaky as hell. And I'm resetting a circuit right now because it died. I don't know which one it is though. So I'm down here flipping all kinds of switches in my house trying to get the right one.
At least we don't live in the time. I'll tell you this. Back when you would like have to have an alarm clock plug in, and you're like, I don't know which breaker it is, and then you just have to go around the house setting clocks again because you keep turning them off. But yeah.
I think I just did that.
Yeah. Oh, fucking! But it doesn't matter now, though. You might have to set some clocks.
Yeah, we're good. Air conditioning's back on. Lights are on. Everything's cool.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I think like the camp sounds fun. I do not like camping at all. Like it is my least favorite thing on the planet to do. Because I don't like sweating. And that is an issue with me. Is I can't sleep if I'm sweating. That's a problem. So Mech Warrior 5. Is Mech Warrior 5 a new game?
I think it came out in like 2019. But
so
it's the newest one they've made in like 10 years.
My brother plays Mech Warrior, Jason. He might be on the line. He's probably like, damn, Mech Warrior, that sounds pretty fresh. But yeah, Bacon's Bits in the chat said they're downloading Mech Warrior 5 right now too, on Game Pass.
Hell yeah.
There you go. I have never played anything like that.
So it's basically like you run around in an 80-foot tall robot, and you can like smash buildings and punch other robots and shoot missiles and flamethrowers and a lot of shooting, a lot of blowing up.
Right. Well, I love that. Now you're just speaking my language. Killing. Is there killing? As long as there's Mech Warriors are big robots, right?
Yeah, they're really big robots.
Are they like Gundams, which I know a lot about?
It's basically like Gundams. Yeah, I haven't found any swords or anything yet. There's a lot less like physical, like hand-to-hand combat, and a lot more like long-range missile shooting. But I'm hoping eventually I find a sword or something, because I do end up punching a lot of robots in the face, because my style is kind of charge in guns blazing type of thing. And then you get too close and you got to start throwing fists.
I do, yeah. A big time, like I just started. People want me to do Gundams, right? Build Gundams. You know what I'm talking about? They're like models of some sort.
Yeah, like
that people think I should be doing.
Your gun PLA.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder than like any model car or Legos.
Exactly. People are like, you should get into Gunpla or whatever it is. They always say Gunpla, and I read it as Gunpla. And
yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it either.
it's anytime I'm talking about my Legos, which I love. I love playing with Legos. But Gunpla sounds like incredibly fucking hard to do. I Googled it because I was like, well, these things look pretty cheap. It looks like I can get into this like for $25. You know, obviously you got to spend like $100 to put them together, but they seem a fucking lot harder than Legos to me. And I bought model cars last year. I still have them. I should fucking sell them. I have the Firebird or the Smokey and the Bandit Pontiac Firebird. And I really wanted that. I wanted that to display in my house because Smokey and the Bandit, one of my favorite movies. And I also have like a Shelby, I think it is. Last year or 2 years ago, while we were on a, I'd be on the podcast just ordering models and telling people I ordered this model. And then I got one out and I started to try to put them together. And it was like really fucking hard. Like I was like, I don't think I can do this. You're like gluing stuff, which is crazy. I don't know how to glue anything. So I'm not
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I got like one of those like sheet metal models where it's like a flat piece of, it's like maybe the size of 2 index cards, and you have to like break the little metal tabs, and then you follow some instructions to like fold it all with needle nose pliers and put together like a 3-inch long fucking X-wing or something. And I just sat down with a pair of needle nose pliers and got really angry for about 3 hours before I like broke it to the point where I couldn't assemble it. My fingers were bleeding. And I was like, this isn't fun. Fuck this. I'm done. So models aren't for me,
Yeah.
but Legos are a blast.
Oh yeah, Lego's the easiest shit in the world. And if you buy like a really wild one, then it takes a long time. I just bought yesterday. I don't know if it's still on sale, but I'm going to try to help y'all out a little bit. If you're looking to get into Legos, there is the stadium that the Barcelona soccer team plays in is a massive set. It's like over 5,000 pieces and it's $350 and they're selling it right now for $200. And that's the kind of set that'll get you like mad addicted to it because like, you want one with like, you want a big one if you're an adult. I think kids, you could get them a smaller set, but you ideally want to have like 1,500 to 2,000 pieces because it'll take you a little time. And then you just kind of sit there and you sort the pieces and then you put the shit together. It's really fun. And by the way, Forever Since Breakfast, DM me I'll see if I can get you one of my model kits that I didn't fuck up, and I will mail that to you and I'll sign it. I signed a Lego box recently too. So if you want me to sell stuff or if you want to buy something for me, I'll sign it. You just got to DM me and tell me. And I've been selling a lot of this stuff on Twitter. Just when it comes up, it's like I'm selling a Batmobile right now for like $60. And so if somebody wants to build the Batmobile from the new Batman movie, which, I don't know if anybody wants that. I posted, people were like, I don't know. I'm not feeling that. But I need a hobby. I can't not
put
have a
together
hobby.
the Hogwarts Express. Me and my daughter did the Hogwarts
Oh.
Express, and as soon as we finished building it, it rolled off of the table and smashed into a bunch of pieces on the floor again. She started to cry for like 3 seconds, and I was like, wait. This just means we get to build it again. This is fine.
Yeah,
We just get to have the fun again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my
Yeah,
wife
so,
has been.
Before, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. My wife's been taking these apart and sorting the pieces to make sure all the pieces are there. And then as soon as it's all the way taken apart, I post up there that you can buy it and I'll usually sell it. So just if you watch me on Twitter, I'll be selling Legos. Like I have a ton of them and I got to get rid of some of them. I got to make some money back. And, probably sometime next week, I'll be selling the Space Shuttle Discovery with the Hubble telescope with it. So I know I bought that specifically to sell because I knew a bunch of geeks would like to have that because, how people love space.
So when you build Legos, it like you open the box and you've got the numbered bags and it tells you which bag to use. When your wife disassembles it, does she take the booklet and go page like the last page to the front page and like just disassemble it one piece at a time in the same order that you built it?
Nope. We just throw them all in a big bag.
Take it all apart.
It's kind of a pain in. Yeah, it's kind of a
word.
pain in the ass. I did want to start selling things that way, but I don't know. It was very hard to keep my train of thought when I was trying to separate them. So, you know, I oftentimes have to take them apart and put them back together sometimes anyway, like in the middle. So it's not that bad not to have the numbered bags, you know. So tell people where to go. Camp Dummer,
Gotcha.
wherever at. And hopefully
Fort
people show
Dummer
up.
State Park, Brattleboro, Vermont. We've got like 7 or 8 looking like we'll have currently. If anybody that's not on Facebook shows up, that's cool as hell too. But Fort Dummer State Park in Brattleboro, Vermont, Thursday to Sunday of this coming week. And it's going to be a blast. So come hang and have fun. Thanks very much for taking the call. I know you probably got a couple more, so we intend to. And you have a blast in Chicago. Wrestling is going to be sick, so have fun with that.
And
thanks for taking the call.
yeah.
I'll catch you later. Be well.
Thanks. Yeah, I leave for Chicago on Friday. I'm going to go see The Bean, I guess. You know how it is. Last call here. I'm going to take this call. I have to make a phone call for work after this, so I think it's... Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who am I talking to? Whoa. You all right?
You're talking to Bacon Bits out of St. Louis.
Hey, Bacon Bits out of St. Louis. Where are you at? You in a wind
Hello?
tunnel? I'm here.
That's my fan. That's my fan. It was 95 degrees today. Is that better?
Lasco? You got a... Yeah, that's great. Is it a Lasco? Your fan?
Yeah, how do you
You're
know?
a Holmes guy. Yeah, because Lasco's the best fan, and it was super loud, and Lasco's are the loudest fans, Bacon Bits. That's just I had a Holmes because that's what Target sells, and Jesse turned me on to the Lasco, and I just never gone back. I love it.
Yeah, I got a Lasco box fan. I got a Lasco pedestal fan. I got a window fan I put in the spring and fall when it's not 1 billion degrees outside and swampy.
Yeah. What you don't have AC?
It broke. I live in a 50-year-old house I inherited, and I don't have the 10 grand to drop on a new AC system.
Nobody does. Trust me. That sucks. This is why you rent.
Yeah, and I hate where I live because it's the suburbs. It used to be country, but now it's suburbs. So it's like I don't know what it's called, yuppification. It's like gentrification, but for rural white people.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I was just talking about this. I know with my buddy Joubert Moniker on Twitter about how I grew up in. I never lived in the country. I never lived in a rural area, but I lived in this neighborhood that was sort of like a working class neighborhood that wasn't downtown. It was definitely in the suburbs. It'd take about 15, 20 minutes to get downtown from this neighborhood. And when I was a kid, we would play in the woods a lot. We would go fucking crazy playing in the woods, and there was a lot of them. Like there was a lot of woods there. And, you know, we'll go have fun, and we would go out there and play. So as I got a little older, hello? My fan's going.
Hello?
My fan's going wild. Yeah, your fan's going wild. It's loud.
Yeah, that might be the window AC unit. Let me hit that, turn that off for you. I'll suffer for the clout.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. The listeners would go crazy if I just let that go. So anyway, like we would play in these woods, and it was super fun. And there was like all these like cool little like landmarks in the woods. Like there was a Devil's Ditch, there was this, there was that, and we'd go back there and we'd play. They leveled them all and they built apartments, or not apartments, houses and apartments. It was just, they put in a ton more houses and shit. Recently, and I was always bummed out that the woods were gone for the kids, like as old as for like the kids that live there now. I went by there recently and pretty much all the houses they built are empty, and it's just ruins now. So now the woods are gone and it's just a bunch of empty, shitty houses that they built because nobody lives there anymore.
Yeah, that's what's going on around here. And like my house, like built in the '70s, so it's like a nice brick ranch house. And all the houses around here are like, you know, El Cheapo. Like they go up in like a week almost, but they're like fancy on the outside. But like my buddy's brother is a general contractor, and he's like, I would never move in one of those houses even if he paid me $10 million.
Well, I think the thing with me is like, I would move into one of those houses for $10 million. I think the thing with me is that like, I don't have this great need to own anything in my life, like own any land. Like I think if I inherited a house, I'd probably keep it. You know, I wouldn't be the kind of guy that would like buy a house or that would like inherit a house and sell it. I might though, because I don't have any desire to own anything. But I think like it sucks because people don't want to live the people that don't want to live downtown are but do want to live in a place like that. They're going to be some of the worst people you find. So you're losing either way because you have like, you have like all these new neighbors, and if it's rural, it's great. And if it's urban, it's great. But if it's in the middle, it's not.
Yeah, they're going crazy right now because my area, we're getting our first ever Meijer. And I have no idea what a Meijer is like because they're not even close to where I'm at. I've never even seen one. But I hear it's like
they're great.
How Target's a little bit nicer than Walmart. They're a little bit nicer than Target.
No. That's not right.
It's kind of
they're Target. They're I would put them firmly between Walmart and Target, to tell you the truth. I don't think you would say they're nicer than Target. A Meijer is firmly between Walmart and Target, I would say. But they got a lot of good treats there. If you like treats, you're going to be set for life.
I love treats. But that's a relief because I'm a union grocery store employee. So, like, you know, less competition is better. I don't know. Is Meijer union or not?
Yes, it is here. But you know what has been happening with a lot of these chains and stuff like that is I know that, like, so in my neighborhood, there is a Kroger, which is union. And then there is a Giant Eagle Market District. And a lot of Giant Eagles are union. But any new one they build are not union. So basically, if they build something, if they're building a new place, I think it's not going to be union. This is my guess. I don't know if that's for sure, but I know that all of the new Giant Eagles aren't union, but there's ones in Pittsburgh and stuff that are union. So I don't know how they get away with that, but that's something that happens now. So I wonder if even the Meijer is mostly union. They generally have paid well. They fucking drug test, which is like at a grocery store, motherfucker. You know? So that made me nuts.
Yeah.
Did
like
you get
if they drug tested my job, it'd be like no one would work there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Be the
Everybody I work
cashier
with,
and
yeah, everybody I ever worked with at the grocery store would have really been fucked if they drugged them.
Yeah, especially like I've been doing this shit for 15 years, so I got a little bit invested in the company, but like The worst time probably for anyone was working during that buying madness, which I have like PTSD from. I tried Wellbutrin and it did not agree with me.
Yeah. I mean, when was it? The early COVID?
Yeah,
Was
early
the problem,
COVID
or
gave me PTSD.
I fucking believe it. I felt for you guys.
Well, that's also a knife
I
on
still
me for some toilet paper.
Yeah, I have a memory. I have like a really vivid memory of that last day. The day after the NBA was sort of canceled, when everybody was like, okay, this is like really seriously gonna fucking happen. And I remember going to the grocery store, and I just remember being so packed in with people that had their carts completely full, no masks, no nothing, because nobody thought they had to wear masks. But like, I remember standing in there and just being like, man, these people that are working is a motherfucker, man. I feel for everybody.
Yeah, it was not fun, but hey, we mostly came out of it the other side, and that's the thing you got to look forward to, my friend.
Yeah, you did great. I can't believe it. Did you get any hero pay or anything?
Yeah, I got Illinois actually passed like a law that made it like us first responders, so they kind of were forced to give us hazard pay. I got hazard pay and like bonuses for like retention. That's how I bought my new used car. Was like straight from the Biden or Trump bucks and Biden bucks, and the union paid hazard pay bonuses. Plus, I didn't do shit for like a year other than go to work and home and work and home.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much money I spent at bars till COVID.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I just started going out and doing stuff again. And it's basically me and my wife just go to movies now. I can't think of anything to do. I don't fucking know what to do. I go out. I don't like going to the bar. I hate it. And I don't think I'm ever going back to the bar again unless I'm working, But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad. I mean, are you feeling better on the other end of like with the PTSD and stuff? Are you doing better?
Yeah, I'm doing better. Like there's some minor things that kind of upset. Like I lost my dad to COVID complications, so that's a good chunk of it too. It's like the whole friggin' COVID thing. Like I have like redacted from my like news feed, and I take news hiatuses, so I kind of just take the world like fuck it.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to know the
That makes
news
any
anyway.
sense at all.
yeah. I don't think it's imperative that people know the news anyway. I think the news just bums you out. It's literally just a thing to do if you want to be bummed out. I kind of get what's going on like secondhand from people that are smarter than me is how I kind of do it. So yeah. Well,
Exactly.
I hope you're feeling better, Bacon Bits, and it's good to hear from you. And have a good night. Peace. All right, everybody.
You too, buddy.
I got some stuff later. I got some stuff I got to do. I got some work stuff I have to do. I know this is my work too, but I have other work stuff I have to do. But it's good, as always, to hear from you. I will not be here next week, and there isn't going to be a Wednesday stream at this point because I have to coordinate with people to put the shows together. I'm going to do a stream another night a week. I promise. It's not like the end of it's not like the end of streaming. It's just I don't know sort of how to do it. So I'll see you all Wednesday. Sub to the Patreon and Street Fight, and have a really good night. I love you all.